All right, got Mr. Bill back here today with his 2002 Toyota Sienna. So he's got a bunch of play in the steering wheel, and we're gonna go ahead and replace his rack and pinion. It's pretty old, it seems to be leaking. So here's the new replacement part. This is a Detroit axle, rack and pinion. Link will be in the description below. You can order on Amazon. So what we're looking for is we got one bolt that's gonna hold it over here where the steering shaft goes in, a bolt on this side, a nut holding some sort of line, 2 lines into the pinion, and the spline for the steering. So I already have it up in the air with the tires off. I hope you'd be able to get to that point. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and knock these outer tie rod ends out. So what I do is I take these castle nuts out, I put them on upside down, and I get it nice and flush, and then I just give it a pop with a hammer and pop them up. And if they don't pop easily that way, you're gonna need to grab a press or something if you're saving them. But let's go take a gander in here and see what we're gonna start with. Here's a nut, and the bolt is right on this side. We got, let me go grab a flashlight. All right, so we got our bolt on this side. We got both lines up there. And then we have a nut that holds the steering shaft onto the spline. So that's 3 things we're gonna need, or 4 things total we need to remove on this side. And then on the passenger side, I don't actually know how to get to it. You can see the 13 millimeter or 12 millimeter nut on the top side on that stud that holds that line. So we need to get that off. Then I do believe it's up in there somewhere. Maybe right there. Yep. So we're gonna start taking some things apart, and I'll let you know how it goes. All right, quick demonstration on how this tie rod removal. You just make sure it's flush and the castle nut's on backwards, so it keeps it flat. You just give it a pop. Oop. Oop. There it went. So just like that. If you do it that way, you don't damage the threads and you don't damage the castellations. All right, so next I decided to take off the steering shaft. So I'm reaching my hand right up through here and standing back on the wheel well, and I was able to get a ratchet in here no problem and take this off. It's a 12 millimeter bolt. There's no bushings even holding your rack and pinion in, man. That was your whole issue, by the way. Yeah, we're gonna swap it out because you got a nice fancy new one and I see nice fancy new bushings. But like that bolt you said was backing out, that you Loctited, backed out enough that the bushings came out. So look.
Well, it's leaking anyhow.
All right, so now I'm just gonna reach in here with a crowbar and get it underneath that lip and try and pop it up. All right, I misspoke earlier. Let's see. So up there where the steering shaft connects, you gotta take that bolt all the way out. It rides on that little cutout groove right there. So you just pop it off. I ended up using a pry bar coming in from here, getting a little bit of leverage off of this control arm, and then just hammering it up from the bottom a bit. It was boogered on there. But all right, now we're going to take out this bolt. That's all loosey-goosey. We'll take out the bolt on the other side and the tie down nut, and the last thing we'll do is remove those lines. All right, next revelation. So you gotta disconnect the sway bar and completely unbolt it. So I got this in free. I held that by 2 12 millimeters that a ratchet wrench will actually fit on over here. The studs are 15, so you just undo them, pop them out from your struts. And Bill's over there working on the other side. So you have to move the sway bar to get to the bolt so it can be removed. So this sway bar, we can now lift it up whenever it's free and remove this 19 millimeter bolt that holds this side in. I've already got this side out. Same concept as before, just reached up right here. Even the nut has a tab on it. See, so it's supposed to catch and allow you to take it out. Wasn't working, so he stood there and held it with a wrench. But this is certainly his problem right here. That bushing is completely shot, but it's also leaking everywhere. So once we get the other side free, then we'll take these lines off, and then it's all about fishing it out of this hole right here and trying to fish the new one in. Hey Bill, take a look at me. You've been eating grease? What are you doing over there? All right, here we go. We got everything free. So for the lines, one's a 16 and one's a 17. So it's quite nice if you have it loose, because I was able to pick the rack and pinion up and move it back a little bit to clear room for a nice wrench in here. And then I just came in here where my hand's at and just loosen both of those, took them out by hand. We got the sway bar free. So now theoretically we should have enough space to carefully slide this rack and pinion out of this hole here. All right, one other quick thing to note. So coming out, you have to, twist it just a little bit and be very careful. But there's a line on the passenger side over here that pops up off of the rack and pinion. And this O2 sensor, it gets in the way unless you orientate it in just the right way. So you twist it back this way, come under that, and then twist all the way forward so you can pull the gear over here to get it to slide out. All right, here it is in all its glory. Slid right out of there. You'll notice that there's no bushing in here. There is in there, so this should help a lot. The Detroit axle, again, the link will be in the description for the replacement. You can order on Amazon. It also comes with outer tie rod in, so pretty much you get all new steering. And yeah, that about does it. Time to put her back in, Bill.
Okay.
Well, there it is, test drive complete. Bill's happy with it. Steering wheel no longer shimmies back and forth. If the video helped you, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Come on.